I know you're ready to get started with programming, and technically you could. If all you're doing is testing on your workbench or in your office, then you could just get started with the programming. But if you are deploying your Raspberry Pi in a project, you will at least have to change the password. And you'll probably have to change the IP address as well, and there's a few other settings that we should have a look at. If you are using ControlPi, there's a handy little application called ControlPi Config included with it. And this is an easy way to adjust some of the settings without having to remember SSH commands. So what you do is open up a web browser and you browse to Raspberry Pi :12345. Or if you know the IP address of your Raspberry Pi, you could type that in here too, and then the :12345. So that's the IP address, and the port is 12345. You may have to put a slash after that, and we'll just hit enter. And here we have the login screen, and we just set up the Pi, so we'll use the default password, which is Raspberry, and we'll copy that in there. You could say remember me if we like, and then we'll log in, and then we get this nice little dashboard that lets us do a few things, that lets us adjust a few settings on the Raspberry Pi. It's still growing, this project, so it's very limited at the moment. You could switch between read-only and read-write mode. You could see the usage, the disk usage, and this gets updated every 20 seconds. So you see how much disk space is available, how much is in use, and how much is free. And the same for the memory. And right here we have a drop-down list where we could switch between read-write right here and read-only mode. Okay? And this is the actual serial number of the Raspberry Pi if you ever need it. And there will be licensing included because some of the features in here will be paid. But if you're a student of this course, just shoot me an email and we'll send you a free license. No problem. And over here on the left, we could change the password. That's what we came here to do. So we could just enter a new password here and I'll say test, a very terrible password, but it's just for a test. Ha ha ha. And then we'll click save and I'll say not now, and you can see that the password has been updated. And then I'll log out and give that thing a test. And if I try to use Raspberry again, I should get a warning message that that won't work. And then I'll put in the one that I just made and we'll say login. And you see that we could log in. So that's a very quick way to change the password. And again, ControlPi Config will be updated with new features where you'll be able to change the IP address, set DHCP, maybe do some video settings, adjust the serial port baud rates, and things like that. We'll be growing it as time goes on. So if you have any ideas that you'd like to see in there, let me know and we'll try to get that included. But for now, we'll have to learn some SSH commands and we'll tackle that in the next video.